Todd Vincent, the fermented farmer, here at our homestead farm in Middle Tennessee to continue our talk about regenerative farming and some of the practices that we do on our farm. As we discussed before, rapid growing plants do an amazing job at sequestering the carbon out of the atmosphere and placing it back into the soil where it's needed. And it's needed for plant growth. So the system is a really interesting system and fascinating. I've spent a lot of time driving through the country over these last 15 years, and I've driven past fields that year to year seem to never change, or they seem to get worse. So a lot of the older practices that we've been doing aren't working. So here, we're trying to incorporate as many of the regenerative practices as we can to bring forth an abundant growth in our plants, an abundant growth in our trees, because we know that the products that we produce from all of these plants and all of these trees, that regenerative effort is going to come right through the products, and then we get to inherit all of that nutrition. So one of those methods are with cows. Cows are, to me, amazing. One, as they graze, they convert, they've got a fermenter, which I love, inside of them called a rumen. And as they eat vegetation and ferment that vegetation, it converts and breaks down all of the amazing nutrients that are in these plants. And when they poop it out and that gets on the soil, it feeds the microbes. Remember, microbes are what we need to feed. Those microbes then are able to divvy up all the nutrition and allow the plants to be able to uptake that nutrition. And then we benefit from it. But there's something else that cows do. When they graze, their tongue actually goes out and they kind of rip the grass off because they only have one layer of teeth. They don't have two teeth like a horse where they're biting and cutting. So their tongue has enzymes on it that produce growth stimulant. So as they're mowing and eating all of your vegetation, they're leaving behind all kind of wonderful things. So enzymes from their tongue that promotes regrowth, urine and poop, which also promote regrowth. When their hooves walk on the grasses and bend down living grasses, that enables worms to come up and start eating all of that fresh grass, and the worms then poop as well. So you can start to see how this relationship with nature, and there was a phrase I read that says, nature's ways pays. So sometimes in farming, we either undermanage the farm, and that's no good when things grow crazy and wild, or we overmanage the farms, and that's where you see factory farming come into play, and we know that's no good. So what we're trying to do is work with nature so that we can literally fortify our soils with the nutrition that the microbes need to release that nutrition to the plants and trees so they'll grow rapid and fast, sequester carbon, and feed us amazing products. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next time.